Welcome.
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 to breakfast together.
Good morning, everyone.
Hello.
Bienvenidos a todos.
Good night.
Buenos dias.
So, welcome everybody to another Sunday morning and the part 2 of our food episode, the tastiest episode.
Lecker.
Since we're talking about breakfast, a thing that we really missed in the last episode, I don't know how we managed to do that, is breakfast in our countries of origin, the countries where we live in. So I think that we should start with this topic.
Yummy.
And let's see who wants to go first. Who is the hungrier this Sunday morning?
We're all starving.
I see Irena looks very hungry.
Actually,
What about you?
yeah, sure, I can go first. Remember, I will refer to two countries, so Ukraine and Norway. In Norway, people normally eat bread for breakfast, and then there's like excess of bread. Like it's not only bread for breakfast, but it's bread for lunch, it's bread for dinner, it's like bread all the time. I really like. For me, being an Eastern European, we also eat a lot of bread. I used to eat a lot of bread when I was a child, but we cannot compete with the Norwegians. Like the
So
amount.
Norway is bread and tacos.
Yeah, it's like like all bread, and it's like dry bread. So in Ukraine, the most of the meals we eat are warm meals, and then here, like since it's bread, then it's cold, and then they also eat it for lunch at work. For me, it was just like a sad thing to see. And then in Ukraine, well, I think people normally eat eggs for breakfast, also sometimes bread. When I was a child in Ukraine, I always used to drink tea with cookies.
Yeah.
That's the cheat meal.
Yeah, that
Yes.
was my breakfast. And nowadays, which is not related really to any country, but I think this is hipster breakfast that I have. I eat acai bowls and I make like smoothie bowls.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hippie of 21st century.
Exactly. And
So
also,
this is how it's pronounced, acai.
well, this is the way you say it, acai, and I buy the powder and then I add it to the bananas and non lactose free milk and like add granola and some other stuff. And before I give the word to Asa, I have to say that Asa and I have a nice tradition at the polyglot events, and we always go for breakfast in some really nice place. And in Prague, we went to quite a few nice places, as well as Budapest. In Teresin, it was not possible because, well, there was nowhere to go. But I'm
Breakfast
looking
was
forward.
included, yeah.
I'm looking forward to some nice breakfasts with all of you in Malta 2024.
Maltese breakfast.
Exactly.
Breakfast together explores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to become a food vlog suddenly.
Yeah, breakfast with the rabbit. Because in Malta, they eat rabbit, by the way. Our dear listeners and dear co-hosts. This is like the most typical dish in Malta. Not for breakfast, though. I don't think so.
I think if you go also to Valencia or I think actually Valencia, they do paella with rabbit, and I was surprised.
Yeah, that's true.
I think actually in Greece as well, Tilemachos, if I'm not correct, if I'm not wrong, at least in the northern Greece, we used to eat
Paella with rabbit.
rabbit, yes. Stifado. It's called stifado in Greek, so yep. Yeah, but sorry to
I don't know
interrupt
about
you.
rabbits. It might be a bit too heavy for breakfast, don't you think, guys?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no.
But I have to confirm that Irena is fantastic at looking and finding really good places for breakfast. And in Budapest and Prague, we had some really nice spots. And I'm sure in Malta, she will come up with a good list. And yes, during the polyglot conferences and gatherings, it's so good to get some quick coffee with some croissant or something like that. But if I start talking about the breakfast of the place I live in right now, then we probably won't finish until evening, because Turkish breakfast is famous all world around, obviously, and there are so many variations of that. I wouldn't even know where to start from, but for those who haven't had a chance to try it yet, I'll just say that unlike, let's say, in Spain or Italy, where you only meant to eat either sweet or salty and something really small usually, Turkish breakfasts first, they're huge, they're really big, it's a very big meal, and they include sweet and salty options. So you have typically really small plates of jams, cheese, olives, honey, eggs, different types of greens, vegetables, different method of preparing eggs. It can be omelet, can be sunny side up, can be eggs with yogurt. There are
Kaimak as well, right?
what's that?
Kaimak as well, right?
Yes, kaimak goes always with honey, and this is something we eat almost every day. We don't eat sweets normally, but me and my husband we like to start morning with some of this sort of a honey with kaimak. And yes, this is sweet thing, and that's the one
Mm.
we are allowing ourselves so that we can burn it later on during the day. But yeah, it's very easy in Turkey to get
Talking about
breakfast.
that, I'll jump in for a second because you took me back to, I think, 2018 or something, when I was in Istanbul for a visit.
Ooh.
And I remember this. We were in the, I don't know how they're called, the Prince Isles. I don't know how.
Princess Islands? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, in the
And we were
Marmara
having
Sea.
a breakfast, and I remember it's like exactly what you said, basically, like a whole table full of like little plates with little things and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, it's
But I also remember us getting some like more heavy breakfast, like sujuk. You know, like
yep.
there's like little frying pans with something in it, sujuk, eggs, and
Yep.
everything.
Yep.
And I remember that afterwards, basically, we woke up, we went to have breakfast, and then could not move for the next 2 hours because like the day was over already. Like we had no
Oh
energy
yeah.
to do anything because all of it was basically in digesting all this
Oh
heavy
yeah.
breakfast. But
Yeah.
it was delicious, I have to say.
Last time I was in Turkey, I had menemen for breakfast. Like
I
that's
love
another
menemen.
option.
Remind me what's menemen, and also our listeners.
Yeah, it's kind of a type of egg cooked with a lot of tomato, fresh
Right.
tomato that you need to first cut into really small pieces and you need to fry
Mm-hmm.
first. So tomato, pepper, sweet pepper, never spicy. Sweet pepper and sometimes onion. It depends on people. Some people add onion, some people do not. But tomato and pepper, those are two basic ingredients. And the most important is that you got to cook it for a long time to create this sort of a tomatoey, saucy, sort of liquidy thing on a frying pan, and only then
Mm-hmm.
you are putting eggs in. I always get it too dry. I don't know what it is, but it's my menemen is delicious. I really enjoy it, but it's completely different from outside.
Uh,
Yeah, and it's I don't know. It's one of my favorites.
I have a question. Is looks like because I think I tried both, but I'm not sure if it's like looks like saksuka.
Yeah.
No, no, that is
The
it's
taste
different
maybe
though.
yes, but it's
It's
different because I think saksuka has the egg like inside like the whole egg, where in the
Exactly.
menemen
It's
you
not
have
the same.
exactly,
yeah.
exactly,
And
and shakshuka has some additional Middle Eastern
yeah,
ingredients
yeah.
very often, like a nohut. What's that in English? I forgot. The chickpeas. Sorry.
Mm.
But in Turkey, then they don't really add chickpeas to breakfast.
I have another question, maybe to you, Asia. So I also have been to places, brands or breakfast places in Berlin, and I got the typical how you describe this breakfast, and I would say that yeah, it has like eggs, it has like sea meat, it has like some
Mm.
yogurt with it's called silbelir, I think, or it's like yogurt with some kind of jam, not sure if I pronounced it correct,
Hmm.
and different like fruits and vegetables. But my question
Yep.
is that something that it's an everyday breakfast for like common people, or you only find it in restaurants, places, and like for example, as Sirena mentioned, Istanbul, where you go and you people will try to sell the Turkish typical breakfast. Is something that an
Yeah.
everyday family will do or no?
It's a great question, and absolutely yes. Even more to it, in those places where you can buy some plates and different equipment for kitchen, like you know, little saucepans and so on and so forth. There is a special tray with little saucepans in it with
Mm-hmm.
the cover on top, which means that it's actually present in every single Turkish house, where you just refill those little things. You close them with the lid. You put the whole entire thing on a tray with those little saucepans and a lid in the fridge, and you just refill them for the breakfast. So with the tray, you just take it to the table, you put those things outside, then the tray, you put those things back, you wash some saucepans if you need it, and it goes back to the fridge. And people are just cutting like more cheese, adding more olives when they're finishing, adding maybe more. There is a also one of the traditional things to eat is the syrup made of grapes with the tahini paste, and that's called tahin pekmez.
Okay.
It's
Uh-huh.
kind of a paste as well, which you eat with bread. Again, tons of bread. I wanted to ask Irena actually how the bread in Norway is being eaten, because it seems like bread is present absolutely everywhere. It's just the ingredients and the way bread is being consumed is completely different. But yeah, we totally skip bread right now because you gotta kind of think about your
Yeah, we
diet.
don't want to
Yeah,
mention bread every single time.
exactly.
But since you said about bread, it's the same thing I think, and Tilahos can agree here with the German people. They love their bread. They have, I don't know, tons of different types of bread, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
you can see in every pastry place here. I don't think they call it pastry places, but they sell bread. Bakeries, they sell like a bread and maybe some type of sandwich, but it's mostly bread.
It's funny because it reminded me of this the typical memes where they show basically somebody going to a German bakery for the first time, and they go to a German bakery and they encounter this shock because there is such a variety of bread with so many different names that you've never ever seen before in your life. And you kind of have to, you're in the queue, it's your turn, and you have to choose one of these breads,
Oh
and you
no.
have no idea what you want because you don't know what any of them mean. And you get this like bread stress kind of.
Bread
And I think it's
stress.
something that is very common with all the newcomers because you're like, I just want, I don't know, give me some bread, whatever, you just look for a familiar word, like is there a baguette or something,
And
So
Ciabatta?
and especially if you cannot if you don't speak German, then it's impossible
Scheiße.
because they have long names with like very specific
diese,
things.
diese Brot.
Yeah, das,
Yeah.
das. You have to point and say das. Yeah, so basically you can see that like bread, I think, is a very important part of the German breakfast as far as I know. I mean, also for lunch as well. But yeah, I think the typical thing is like Käsebrot, for example. Like bread with some like cheese, or I guess you can also do it with jam, like mix it with jam and cheese and
So is it like a sandwich
you know,
form of a breakfast?
yeah, like the typical thing. Like some cucumber, some egg, some
Yeah.
cheese.
Very similar to
This like
Poland.
typical.
Yeah, similar to Norway.
Yeah, I can imagine that it's like a common thing in
Right.
the area. And yeah,
I think
so
it's called continental breakfast, if I'm not wrong. Like it's the one that you normally
Wow,
see
just
No, it's called
in.
boring breakfast.
I agree. Point to you. Buen punto. But I think it's like the one that you normally find in hotels. Like you have like your bread, your croissant, your apples, fruits.
I think the bakery visitors of those many, many types of breads will be offended here. They're like, how come can you say this to my bread? But yeah,
all kinds of bread, all 50 of them.
right.
But I think in Greece, I would say we have. I'm not sure we are like a big breakfast. Like a love, we love, yeah, as we like love eating, especially when we have like the meses, like the uso time that is around lunchtime, and dinner is like big as well. But breakfast, I don't think Telemachos that we have so popular famous breakfast dishes. I would only think about the pitas. Like pita is like the pies that you have different pies of cheese,
Hmm.
spinach, minced meat pita, and we have a lot of pastry. So I think like mostly I would say from my university school years that people tend to eat pitas, like something with filo that is, as I said, like already pies. I don't think that we have something more common in Greece to eat. Yes, sometimes eggs and sausage, but it's not so Greek to me at least.
No, no. I mean, to be honest, for me, when I think of Greek breakfast, I think of coffee and cigarettes.
Oh my God.
That's basically.
Greek coffee,
Yeah.
coffee and cigarettes.
So that's very
Yes.
different because the many dishes are similar to Turkey, but that
That's
breakfast
the funny
element
thing.
is definitely different.
You would have expected that breakfast is also similar because
Yeah,
it's also like many of the same things,
but
but
it's not.
actually
Yeah.
it's super different. Like there is no breakfast culture in Greece at all. Like it doesn't exist.
I can
But
take Freddo for this one.
that's the
Tauco.
thing. So a typical thing actually most people just get coffee, and if they're smokers, they smoke a cigarette. That's a typical breakfast.
Yeah.
And in the summer Freddo, like the morning Freddo, Greek people, they're like usually say that they cannot function before their first coffee. So we're coffee addicted.
But I would disagree. I would disagree, Telemachos. I would say, yes, we don't have a breakfast culture in Greece, but I think if you would ask anybody, like after, let's say, a night in a bar or a club, or when you go to school, normally you eat like something with a pie. It's always like, at least for me, it was all my life. But maybe in like in the north part of Greece, we eat like a simit, like kuluri. We call it kuluri. So we eat something with bread or like some flour, like this kind of breakfast, and it's like the typical one that you can eat with your coffee or with cacao milk or something like that.
No, that's true.
Maybe in Athens is not like so typical.
No. It's also typical, but the thing is that you buy this outside.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
but if you're just at home, when you first wake up, you just have like I don't know some like cornflakes and like
Not if your
like it
grandma.
doesn't matter what you have.
Yeah,
Sorry?
not if your grandma is making pies all the time, like my grandma.
No. Well,
She's a
this
master
is
of
an
grandma.
exception.
Grandma doesn't count. I mean, she counts more than anything else.
Can your family adopt me?
Folks, you
Like
have to visit me once in Greece, and my grandma will have already 2-3 different types of pies. One
I'm
for
coming as
breakfast,
well.
one for dinner, one for lunch.
That's so cool.
like force feed you pies.
Yeah.
For all our listeners, if you want to know the address of Dimi's grandma, you have to
You have to support us.
here's the account number.
You have to support us. Only fans.
Exactly.
The next 10 people to rate us with 5 stars
Yes.
get into like one of the lucky ones will get the address of Dimi's grandma.
Just
Get
don't
invited
forget
for
to
the
tell
day.
grandma that she's gonna have visitors.
She's always ready. She's a Greek grandma.
But yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Basically, it's like the very first thing you eat is usually nothing. That's just like coffee and cigarettes. But especially when you go outside, like if you start your day, or if you're going to work or to the university or whatever, we have a very strong like bakery culture, I would say. And I realized when I was on my trip in the Balkans that it's a very Balkan thing actually. That bakery is basically you can just eat every day, all day at the bakery. You have so many options, so many
Yeah, it's the
delicious things
same
to
in,
eat.
in Turkey. The same in Poland.
Exactly,
Love
yeah.
the pastries, love the breads. Oh, if only carbs would be good for you.
But because for example in the Balkans they have burek, which is like
That's
Turkish, I
Turkish.
imagine.
Yeah.
Exactly. So actually the pitas are very similar to burek. So it's like different pastry, but same feelings and same culture. Like you just go to a bakery, you get, for example, a coffee, freddo. You should take freddo. And then you take, for example, a spanakopita, like a spinach cheese pie, or like a kratopita, a meat pie, or a tiropita, a cheese pie, or bugatsa if you're in
Oh my
the
god, I love
north of
burrata.
Greece. But yeah, that's true. So it's like we have a very, I think, like breakfast to go kind of culture.
Right. Because we are
But
busy.
not so much this.
We are busy people, that's why.
Yeah, exactly. No, I don't know how it is I think in the north you're a bit more halara.
Yeah.
Like, a bit
We
more
are
chill.
more halara.
But
We have more time for
in Athens, like, I don't know, friends of mine from abroad go to Athens and they think that all Greeks are relaxed at the beach all the time. But if you go to Athens in the center in the morning of a working day, people are stressed, is insanely stressed. And they're always like running and like being fast, and like if you delay them for a second, they get pissed off. So they really need to get the breakfast to go and start going with their day.
That seems like another country to me, not Greece.
No
Not
Sohalara.
so Colorado.
But the Greek breakfast, actually, it's funny because learning Portuguese, I find a lot of things common with Greek and Portuguese that are not the same in Spanish. And one thing that stood out to me is that they call the breakfast in Portuguese café do amanhã.
Café de manhã.
Café da manhã.
Café amanhã, yeah. So they literally call it coffee. It's like, because breakfast is just, I guess, coffee. I don't know. But for me, this is how I interpreted it, that it's not food even. It's just coffee.
No.
That's the most important part of the breakfast. And this, for me, accurately describes the Greek breakfast, let's say, besides the bakery stuff.
That's so interesting.
Yeah. Another topic that I would like to ask you folks is I feel that we are coming, all of us, from countries that we normally cook. We normally prepare breakfast, lunch, dinner in our houses. And that was a bit weird for me in the beginning, my first years in Germany, that I was working back from the office and then going back home. And I would see people eating outside, like everyday restaurants being full. And I was surprised because I was saying, like, people are not even like, I don't know how often they do. And I think I've realized after, or like I've learned after, that 2 or 3 times per week they go outside, where even in big cities like Thessaloniki or Athens, people don't tend to eat so often outside, and they tend to cook and prepare their own food and take it to their work next day. And I would like you to know, like how it's like in Turkey right now, how it's like in Norway, or like our home countries.
Actually, it's funny that you say that, because I had exactly the opposite impression about
Oh,
Greece.
yeah. Okay, dilemma was we're definitely from different
That's, you're
countries.
from Greece?
We are
Because
definitely
you know,
different
I
countries.
guess the south and the north are very different.
One of those two is not from Greece. Cool.
No, but it might have been also because of where I studied in Patras. But the thing that, at least there, like eating outside was insanely cheap. It was almost as expensive to cook than to eat outside, almost. So basically, we would be eating outside a lot. So ordering food, and I think we actually have a very big like food delivery culture in Greece. I don't know, I don't know if it's the same in like the north, but
No, it's
it's
true.
like
It's true. I agree. The thing is that maybe because I come from a smaller town of Greece and there is no so much options, that was maybe
yeah,
a
yeah.
bit weird. But in Thessaloniki, yes, it's true that where I study, there is this food culture and delivery culture. But again, I would say compared to Germany, Berlin, it's totally different.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not that
that's true.
it's not that common to eat every day outside like here. Like you buy from restaurant, from a supermarket, your food, and you don't prepare even your breakfast or your food, and you eat like breakfast, lunch, and maybe dinner outside. That's not so common in Greece, I think.
Actually, a thing that surprised me was that in Germany people buy a lot of kind of like cooked food or proper food ready made from the supermarket, which is, and I've never seen this in Greece. Like, where you buy, I don't know, like sushi from the supermarket,
yeah.
or I don't know, like a whole
Piperaki
meal
gemista
ready.
from the market.
I cannot imagine that. Like that seems like a parallel universe to me.
Yeah.
And even like frozen pizza. I don't know if it was my family, but I think it was not so common. Like to like get frozen pizza. It's like you either get like fresh pizza or you don't eat pizza at all. But
Exactly.
this, or like buying deep frozen French fries and preparing them. For me, this is a very northern thing, because in Greece it's like you either cook like everything from zero or you
Yeah.
just go eat outside. There's nothing like in the middle, like it is more in
I feel like it
northern Europe.
changes with the climate and sort of the West, where in America we all know how those ready-made dishes are, and food in general, processed food, is something that's super common. Um, yeah, when I lived in Ireland, I remember I was absolutely shocked because it was actually the same as in the UK, where you would have supermarkets and there would be corridors of ready-made food. You just need to pick it up. It tells you all the instructions on top, whether you need to pan fry it, or bake it in the oven, or just put it in the microwave. And literally, I was at the dinner once in the UK, and the lady who invited us, she was like, "Oh, I prepared this dinner for you, blah blah blah." I was like very excited, and then I just saw her literally taking lasagna out of the, bloody packed plastic box. She would just put it on the big plate. She would put it in the microwave for like 15-20 minutes. Then she would open a plastic bag of salad, which was already washed, so she didn't have to do anything. She would
Wow.
just
Oh
throw it to
man.
the bowl.
Wow.
She would throw a couple of tomatoes and not even like provide any sauce or any type of vinegar or anything like that. And then she would hype about how she made dinner, and I was like, and obviously I ate like a piece and so on. But I was just thinking to myself, I was like, oh my God, that's not cooking. I'm sorry, but that's not cooking. And I feel like in Greece, very similar to Turkey, because of obviously the local produce that is so easy to get, the climate, which is so good throughout the 365 days a year. You always have access to fresh veg and fresh fruit, so it's so easy to
Hmm.
make things from scratch because they are just available all the time. And how in Poland, for example, we are fixated over seasonal vegetables and fruit because obviously the climate makes it more
Yeah.
difficult to access. But the last thing I wanted to say about the ready-made things, I don't know if you have it in Norway or Germany. I'm pretty sure it's the thing as well, but in Poland it has become really big. We have the whole sector of catering food, where not only you buy in the supermarket, you have separate company that prepares tailored made customed food for you, and they deliver it to you on a daily basis. And you can choose keto diet, vegan diet, vegetarian diet, I don't know, gluten
Hmm.
allergic diet, whatever. You customize your own meals, and then you choose the amount of meals, the amount of calories you want to have. And every single day, or morning actually, we tried it once, and the guy was coming at like 4 a.m. in the morning, and the domophone wasn't working, so he would like wake us up. He would leave like the dishes, the soups, the desserts, according to whatever you chose, and you would just open the thing, eat it, and yeah, that's it. It's
It's
called
already cooked.
it's pre-prepared, but it's pre-prepared freshly
Wow.
for you, literally couple of hours before. It's called
That's
dieta
neat.
pudełkowa, uh translated like box diet. But it has become extremely popular, and some of the fit influencers in Poland have produced their line of very healthy food, and people claim that like it can keep you healthy because you point exactly how many calories, how much protein you want there, and so on and so forth. So this has become like a big thing in Poland.
I mean, I guess it helps you kind of to control, like, right, the calorie intake if you
Yep.
are into that kind
Right.
of thing. Here in Norway, we do have that as well. Actually, funny enough, if you guys, dear listeners, can hear, the quality of my sound should be better because I got a new microphone. So with the new microphone, I got
Yoo-hoo!
a flyer for HelloFresh,
I
not
wanted to bring this up, yes.
not an ad, but I got a flyer for this kind of company that delivers food.
Okay.
So here is just becoming popular, but it's not really there. Otherwise, they wouldn't give me 180 euro discount. Uh, but yeah, when it comes to ready-made food, like I wouldn't say that Norwegians are that much into ready-made dishes. Like we do have some, but it's not like we used to have a British supermarket here, and it was like just all full of frozen food. And then we used to have a French supermarket, which was actually a very good one, and it was also like full of that kind of food. So we don't really have that stuff here. But Norway is the kingdom of frozen pizza. Any Norwegian will
I've
confirm this.
heard this. So
Exactly.
interesting.
The most popular pizza is called Grandiosa, and they literally consider it Norway's national food. They are like so proud of their Grandiosa, and believe it or not, like they can revoke my citizenship or whatever. But I've never tried that.
That pizza.
Yeah, so I'm not. I agree with you, Telemachos. So in Ukraine, also, I feel like we either buy fresh pizza or we don't eat pizza. Like we didn't have this thing in my family. Like we didn't even have places that made pizza for many years. At least in my small town in Ukraine, when I was growing up, it came around when I was maybe, I don't know, 10 or like 13, that they have actually delivery and all this stuff. Of course, nowadays there's like a bunch of those places. But when we were talking, I googled stuff, and here it's written that the top 5 list of things that Norwegians eat outside. And it's not surprising. So it's burgers, pizza, sushi, Indian, and Asian. And crispy duck is the most popular dish. It's so true. Like my friend recently sent me like a graphic where it was written that Norway was like one of top 5 countries in the world when it comes to pizza consumption.
That's interesting.
Like imagine, like this is a very small country, 6 million people. So they eat pizza like crazy. Like there is no tomorrow.
Something interesting that I've heard from a person from Netherlands. There was some kind of connection with my family, and he was invited in our house, and he tried this pita, this infamous pita from my my grandmother, and in general, like all the nice food that we normally eat in Greece. And he said, I like stuck in my head. He said, like, we eat for survival, and you people eat because you love
For
food.
pleasure.
And it's for pleasure, because it's true. I eat because I like to eat. It's not because I just need to survive. Which I find the similar thing happening in Germany sometimes. People not eat for pleasure, and they eat for survival, which can be bad at the same time.
This feels so weird. I think I've never eaten for survival. I mean, I'd rather just go hungry than eat for survival.
Exactly.
I guess we could continue talking about this topic for ages, and you can see that it's something that we really share in common.
We are passionate about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Talking.
Food and languages and food. And this is how the podcast started, if you, our dear listeners, remember, in an Indian restaurant during a meal. So, yeah.
The best ideas come when eating.
Yeah.
Amazing times. So this will be the end of part 2, and the episode has become so interesting that we will continue the topic in part 3. Stay tuned.
See you then.
Ciao, ciao.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Adios. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.